What's up, guys? It's Jay here, back with my NFL predictions for 2022, my YouTube channel. To recap week 7, I got 8 out of 14 predictions correct, but obviously there are 4 teams on bye. This week, for week 8, there are going to be 2 teams on bye, and they are the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So, 15 predictions. Number 1, Baltimore at Tampa Bay. And I am picking the Buccaneers winning in overtime, 26-23. I mean, both teams, well, they don't have 5 wins, and they have some struggles on offense and a little bit of defense. But in Baltimore's scenario, they have given up some fourth quarter leads, and that truly is a big no-no for John Harbaugh. As for Tom Brady, he has to get his act together because this is the first time since 2002, I believe, that he is below 500. But I think Tampa Bay will put on a show. I mean, they're the home team. Tom Brady knows what he has to do, and so does the defense. And I believe that he will be putting on a show. And Lamar won't have his homecoming in Florida. Number 2, Denver at Jacksonville. And I am picking the Jaguars winning 28-14. Jacksonville has lost 4 games in a row, and so has Denver. But Denver has more of an offensive struggle than Jacksonville. And I think Trevor Lawrence is playing way better than Russell Wilson, regardless if he starts or not, for Russell. And Trevor, I know he's going to start. But regardless if James Robinson plays for Jaguars, which he was traded for Jets, I believe Jacksonville can carry out its offense and smother Denver's defense. And really, the Denver defense is honestly like waste because their offense is shit. And Denver's offense will not score above 17 points. I will guarantee you that. But yeah, Jacksonville, they managed to beat Justin Herbert a couple weeks ago. I'm sure they'll manage to beat Russell Wilson. Number 3, Miami at Detroit, and I am picking the Dolphins winning 30-28. With the return of Tua Tagovailoa, I am sure the Dolphins will find their way to go above 500 again. And yeah, they already are 500, but above 500 for a consistent amount of time. And I believe that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle will run past the Detroit secondary. And yeah, Detroit secondary does suck. And remember, they've only scored 6 points the past 2 games. Maybe they can put up 28 points, but that won't be enough to secure a victory because 2 of the fast receivers on the Miami Dolphins, and arguably Raheem Mostert as the running back, they will run very fast. And there is no way Detroit's defense is going to stop them. You cannot rely on Aiden Hutchinson to do whatever he can. But, I mean, Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamal Williams, on the offensive side, I think they're not going to have a good time. Because the Dolphins' defense, I think they're also good as the offense is. So I can see this being a close game, but maybe Detroit's up ahead 28-27 with Miami. Jason Sanders, he kicks the game-winning field goal. Number 4, Carolina at Atlanta, and I am picking the Panthers winning 21-20. The Panthers pulled up a surprise upset against the Buccaneers, arguably a team that they had not beaten back in 2019. And I think Carolina has something going on. I think they're starting to find their tempo a little bit, but maybe it'll just be a surprise victory against Atlanta. But Marcus Mariota, I mean, you should give him a little credit, but the Falcons' defense, like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, cooked them last Sunday. And I mean it, he truly did cook them, and so did Jamar Chase. But Atlanta, I think you have another Pats to go. So good luck facing against Carolina, a.k.a. without Christian McCaffrey. Number 5, Arizona at Minnesota, and I am picking the Vikings winning 31-17. Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, one of the favorite people to talk about in the NFL. They seem to be putting on a show. They're 5-1 and they're leading the division. Whereas you got Kyler Murray and perhaps D-Hop is back, but Jefferson has been playing longer than D-Hop, and I think D-Hop won't find his rhythm until he finds it again at home, like he did with the Saints. And the Vikings defense, they seem to be improving, so I believe that Minnesota will just get an easy win against Arizona. Yeah, their defense played very well. Got lucky with 2 pick sixes, but no pick sixes for Arizona. Number 6, Chicago at Dallas, and I am picking the Cowboys winning 30-14. Nothing more can be said about this match because Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and the rest of the Cowboys defense are that team who does well in the regular season. So, as for Justin Fields, pretty lucky against New England, but he may not be lucky against a Dallas defense because, you saw what DeMarcus Lawrence did. 2 offensive linemen couldn't get him. TJ Hawkinson couldn't get him. Strips the ball out of the running back. He could do it for all you know to David Montgomery or Khalil Herbert. So, Dallas defense is going to get it. So, you got to give all the credit to Dallas because they're going to win against Chicago. Number 7, Las Vegas at New Orleans. And I am picking the Raiders winning 26-21. Las Vegas has lost all of its games by possession, but New Orleans looks like they had some trouble against Arizona the other Thursday, but Las Vegas, I think they're starting to find their rhythm back, but they've been playing against some shitty teams, so I think Las Vegas, maybe they'll play against a shitty New Orleans team, so there you go. Maybe Derek Carr finds his 3rd victory of the season, and hopefully Devontae doesn't shove another cameraman. Number 8, Pittsburgh at Philadelphia, and I am picking the Eagles winning 42-3. Kenny Pickett versus the Eagles defense? Great question. Well, guess what? Eagles defense wins. Eagles offense too wins. No TJ Watt, no victory. That's all I can say for that. Number 9, New England at New York Jets, and I am picking the Jets winning 23-13. Okay, the Jets have won 4 games in a row, and the Patriots lost 4 games total in the season. So I believe that Zach Wilson, Garrett Wilson, yeah, sorry about you, Breece Hall, but maybe Michael Carter steps up, and you got the Sauce Gardner. Yeah, he's going to have some Patriots sauce all over, perhaps. Or no Patriots sauce, but maybe some Jet sauce all over the Patriots receivers. But I believe the Jets have found their rhythm. They are definitely playoff bound, or they're probably a playoff contender. Definitely not a pretender. But I think New York has something to prove on both sides of the ball. Zach Wilson has something to prove. Robert Saleh, as a head coach, has something to prove. So I think it will be a fun match to see. And the Jets will win. I won't be surprised. I would be surprised if they lost at home. Number 10, Tennessee at Houston. And I am picking the Titans winning 26-12. Okay, the Titans and the Titans defense, they're good. You saw what they did to Indianapolis last week. You saw what Derrick Henry did. Rushed over 100 yards. So I expect him to do the same thing against a shitty Houston secondary. And I expect the Titans defense to intercept Davis Mills, limit Dameon Pierce, and cover the wide receivers. So all Tennessee, the only points Houston is going to score will be on field goals. So Tennessee is going to dominate the game on both sides of the ball. Number 11, New York Giants at Seattle, and I'm picking the Seahawks winning 28-21. Okay, the New York Giants are 6-1, the best since 2008, but Seattle's 4-3. And partly saying is that Geno Smith, I think he's found his rhythm. Daniel Jones, too, may have found his rhythm, but I believe the Seahawks defense was super good. I mean, you gave up a lot of yards in the air, but you did limit Austin Eckler, which is kind of surprising. But I believe the Seahawks will limit Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones will be forced to throw in the air. And what happens when the receivers are already covered? You got a defensive end, he's going to strip the ball out of Daniel Jones. I think the Giants should have a lead, but they'll blow up the lead. So don't sleep on Geno. Don't hate on Geno. Don't call out Geno, because Geno is the guy for Seattle. Number 12, Washington at Indianapolis, and I am picking the Commanders winning 24-21. This won't be a revenge game for Carson Wentz, but Terry McLaurin, Taylor Heineke seem to be building on the chemistry, so I expect them to do the same thing against Indianapolis' defense. And while the Colts are 3-1, they have no more losses than they do have of wins. I believe that they're not a strong team, and even though Matt Ryan is 4th in the league in passing, he's benched. So maybe the starting quarterback will not have a good time against a Washington defense that has Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, and maybe Chase Young if he's back. But Washington, I think they're starting to find their way, so they'll win. Number 13, San Francisco at Los Angeles. And I am picking the 49ers winning 31-28. San Francisco swept LA the past 2 seasons and 3 seasons actually, 2019, 2020, and 2021. They did beat LA this season one time, but I think they can beat LA another time because San Francisco is just who San Francisco is, and they have a good defense. The other day, San Francisco's defense against the Los Angeles Rams put 21 points. And yeah, I actually had that on my fantasy team, so yeah, just wonder if you guys are curious, but yeah, I got the 49ers winning against the Rams. Matthew Stafford, he needs to find his groove, he needs to find his footing. I don't think he has yet, but maybe he will in the game, but it will come up short. Number 14, Green Bay at Buffalo, and I'm picking the Bills winning in overtime, 37-31. Okay, Aaron Rodgers, you're 3-4, you lost 3 games in a row, and it's the first time you've done it under Matt LaFleur. Well, whereas Josh Allen, he's doing well passing the ball. Devin Singletary's doing good running the ball. Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs. You got a whole crew with Josh Allen. So I think he can exploit the Packers defense with his crew. Aaron Rodgers may be able to do the same thing with Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb if they're healthy. But I think Josh Allen is more talented and he's younger and he's more fit. So Aaron Rodgers, good luck because you're going to fall to 3-5. Lost your 4th game in a row. Number 15, Cincinnati at Cleveland. 15, the last one. And I am picking the Browns winning 32-30. Well, Nick Chubb is the leading rusher, and not Joe Mixon. But Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are good. I mean, Chubb pretty much carried the team in yardage in terms of rushing. But I believe Chubb will do the same thing. And maybe Jacoby Brissett will find Donovan Peoples-Jones and some other receivers to pass to because I think the Browns still have a chance to be a playoff-bound team. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but I think they will manage it pretty well to get back on track. And with regards to Deshaun Watson, week 12, I believe, is the week he will be back. Whereas, yeah, Jacoby Brissett, because, yeah, your boy Deshaun Watson is suspended. And that concludes week 8. Next one will be week 9. And I'll be back Wednesday night, hopefully, or Thursday morning to do another recording. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I look forward to seeing your comments below in the video where I posted. Alright then, have a good night, and I'll see you next week.